Hi guys, today I'm just going to show you the basic things I use to draw on my iPad. The first thing is my iPad Pro. I just got this one. It's the newest gen 12.9 inch iPad Pro. I like it because it's a little bit bigger and I have as much drawing space as I can. I also have this case on it. I just got it on Amazon. I like that it has a pen holder. The difference between the new iPads and the old iPads are actually mostly the pencil. The new iPad Pros and new iPads allow you to use the second gen iPad pencil. You can see it's kind of flat on one side and it actually just hooks on to the side of your iPad, and that's how it charges, which I absolutely love. It also doesn't have the cap on it. The first iPad pencil had the cap on it. So I'm just going to show you, this is the Procreate app. It is kind of like a little dark square with a paintbrush, colorful paintbrush in it. This is the app that I use for all of my drawing. Procreate is $10 in the iPad store, iPad App Store. It is only for iPad. There is a Pocket version for the iPhone that I don't use. I do most of my work on this. When you first open Procreate, you get a gallery. You can see everything that you've done. You can also stack some of your art projects. You can see that I was doing some other videos in there. When you're just starting, and what I use a lot is just the screen size. If you're using bigger or different sized canvases, you can select those over here, or you can create a new one. So I'm just gonna open up this and let's go over some of the stuff that's at the top of here. So that's how you go back to your gallery. On this side, over here, you have your brush. You can select your brushes. I use the calligraphy monoline a lot. If you select the brush again, you can set settings in there like drag and smoothness. For the most part, I really use just the default settings. Next is the smudge tool. We can go over that in a minute. You have your eraser tool, and then you have your layers panel. This is where you go to add your layers and move them around when you're making a bigger drawing. And then this is your color palettes. You can see I have a ton. You can look at them in different ways. I tend to look at them in this square form and how I create them. There's also the disc where you can see your history. There's the classic version. I don't really use this harmony version a lot. And then you can set values if you're looking for specific hex codes. So let's just pick a color and go. So like I said, I do a lot of hand lettering and I make SVGs for my Cricut. So a lot of what I do is pretty simple. Use the monoline brush. I'll just write my name. I mean, it's about as basic as you can get. So over here on the other side, we have this toolbar. The first one is this arrow. It allows you to select it and move it. You can go down here and you can flip it, either horizontal or vertical. You can rotate it. You can fit it to your screen and make it bigger. And then here, you can either use a uniform, which means if you drag any dot, it stays the same size and it's like locked, or you can do freeform, which will change the size of it. You can also distort it, which will pull it in a certain way. This is great stuff if you're using word art. The next one is this select tool. It allows you to select part of your drawing, and then when you hit the arrow, you can now move part of it. This is really helpful whenever you need to shift something. You can also flip that selection, and then you just can go back by double tapping. So the next one is your adjustments. You can change your brightness, the color balance, which is pretty cool. You just select it, and you can change the color balance within your picture. If you're doing like design work for patterns and stuff, it's really cool because you can change all the pattern colors without having to recolor them. There's also blur, which I use a lot for like shadowing and stuff. You can see it's not really doing anything cool on there, but the other things I use a lot in there are not really for SVGs, but just for like art stuff. I use Liquify. Then you have the wrench. So this is where you go to share your video, or excuse me, share your photo or insert photos. This is how you send everything to your computer, which is what I do. So you can insert a file that you've already created. You can insert a photo. You can add text in here. So if you want to use a font, you can do that. For your canvas, here's where your drawing guides are. So you can see it put a grid behind there. You can also flip your canvas. You can also change your canvas size. So if you click on crop and resize, you can change the settings. This is just the screen size. So if for some reason you had a rectangular canvas and then you wanted to switch it to a square, you can change the settings there. The other one that I use mostly here is share. So I send all of my files to my laptop. I have a MacBook Pro, and I send them there to go to the Adobe program so I can change them into SVGs or edit them or whatever I want to do. This is also where you do animation, which I don't do a ton of. And also, this is in this little video tab, that's where you can set up a time lapse. So you can actually, while you're drawing, take a screencast of everything you're doing, and that's how people share all of their art videos on YouTube and TikTok. That just looks like everybody drawing. All right, that's it. The next time, I'm gonna go over a little bit more detail of the layers panel. Bye, guys.